And then the other big thing that we were involved in during my time was trying to secure the Ontario funds to do the big changeover here with the courts. And that was a big deal, that we were going to be able to move from a clay surface to a hard true surface and change the lighting system so that you could basically play hours after a rainstorm as opposed to days after a rainstorm, and also when you're doing a lob shot that you're not really fearful that you're going to hit a light when you're doing that. So that was a big deal too.
I got a job, actually. I was working in Ottawa at the Nepean Sportsplex, and then I played tennis at the Elmdale, and then they needed a manager the following year, so I applied for that job. And like I say, that was the year that we still had, everything was manual. I came in April, and the baselines were all beat up and needed some fresh clay, and all they had was a big pile of clay in the corner that was rock hard.
Okay.
And so we had this big screen with 2x4s all the way around it, and what we had to do was throw the clay on this screen, and then the finer clay would sort of sift through so we get a finer dust that we could then apply to the baselines. But it was very laborious. I mean, it would take a day just to get the clay for one baseline, and you had 6 courts and 12 baselines. Then I remember putting the tapes down, and they were all beat up in pieces and everything. So, but they didn't have a budget for a whole lot back then. But and it was the brown dirt clay. So the only way I could get a day off was if it rained, and if it rained, we'd be done for 3 days. It would take 3 days for the courts to dry out. They were in such poor shape, and we. Then the following year, I believe they put in the green hard true, and they put an underground sprinkler system in, and that improved a lot the recovery after a rainstorm. It was a couple hours or a day at the most.
Or the drying time was becoming longer and longer, and so after heavy rains, it was often 2 days, sometimes 3 days before the courts were back in action and the members could play. So the board decided, well, can we address this problem? And we probably started looking at that in around 76, because we weren't terribly prosperous. We got to the end of the financial year and hoped that we had enough money in the bank to, hire our maintenance staff next spring. But we thought, okay, we need to bite the bullet on this because we're going to lose members, and the whole thing is going to become untenable. So we set about, putting into place a plan which we hoped might work to resurface. At that time, hard true was the surface choice for soft courts. So